8th graders, right? So this is your last year of middle school. And then you're going on to high school. So you better enjoy it. You guys are at the top of the food chain, right? Until next year. All right. I want you to turn to your neighbor and I want you to say you are beautiful.
That's funny. That's funny.
All right, guys, let me tell you a little bit about what we're coming next year. All right, all eyes on me. My name is Brenda Greenwood, but you guys can call me Mrs. Wood. It is a respect thing, and we're going to talk about respect, and right now you guys are not being very respectful. All right, respect is something that you should have for yourself. Because if you don't have it for yourself, you're not going to have it for other people, which means you're not going to go very far having the life that you want. Can you agree? We're going to talk about choices today. A choice can make you either a bad guy or a good guy. It can send you down the road to becoming a very successful business owner or a very successful prisoner. Did you hear that? Some of you will go on to be greatness, and some of you will go on to be future drug addicts. You guys are really good, right? But it is a choice. And I know you guys have heard the words just say no, right? All right. It is a choice. Your path is the choice that you're going to take. Choices are important. Not only are they important, they create your future. You guys are my future. Did you know that? You guys are my future. You all are going to be taking care of me when I'm old. And your parents, and your grandparents, and your aunts and uncles. That's true. You are going to be our future caregivers. You're going to be our future business owners. You're going to be our future astronauts, technicians, mechanics, electricians. You are the future that's going to run the world. And it's going to start right now with the choices that you make in your life. So our speaker that's going to come up, his name is Mr. Cicone. He is a very accomplished man. He has spoken around the world, not just here in the United States, but around the world, on other continents. He has seen many races, he has seen many environments, and he's seen many situations. He's also a Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award winner. That deserves a round of applause, absolutely. So come on out with the party, right?
Thank you. Thank you for your applause, and I am so appreciative of them. But I want to ask you a question. How many of you would want somebody to do that for you? How many of you would want somebody to clap for you as you walked out? Now, she mentioned that I got a Lifetime Achievement Award, but that Lifetime Achievement Award came from me helping people. But it's a Lifetime Achievement Award. And as you can see, I'm not dead. So that means I have more stuff that I need to do. That award was for my service to the community. And you know what? I didn't start serving to get the award. I served because of my commitment to my community, to helping people get to a better space and a better place in their life. And somebody just recognized that, and they wanted to honor me for the work that I've done. By show of hands, how many of you like to be honored for the good stuff that you've done? Okay? All right, cool. All right. Now, in order for that to happen, you have to make a choice to do good. You have to make a choice to do good. And in order for you to do that, you have to realize that you actually have a choice. I saw this video where this guy talked about the only difference between a hero and a villain is choice. Because both of them were born out of pain. Something happened that hurt them. The hero said, "The world hurt me. I'm not going to let it hurt anybody else." I'm glad you're clapping because that lets me know that you want to be the hero. But the villain says, "The world hurt me. I'm going to hurt it back." I am so glad that we have more heroes in here than we do villains. Don't we have more heroes? All of my heroes clap. All of my heroes clap. All right, okay. Now those of you that want to be a villain, you clap. It's funny now. It's hilarious now. It's not when your face is on the television screen. No, I mean in a negative way when they've arrested you. It's not when you're on the front page of the newspaper for doing something bad. See, we have choices. We all have choices. The question is, what choices are we going to make? What difference are we going to make? What are we going to do with our lives that's going to change somebody else's? Now, by a show of hands, how many of you have siblings that are younger than you? Okay, a lot of y'all do. A lot of y'all have siblings, brothers and sisters that are younger than you. And believe it or not, they look up to you. They watch you. They look and see what you do. They see how you act and how you interact. And they pattern themselves after you. Do you know what kind of influence that is? Do you know what difference you can make in their lives? You can lead them in the right direction, but it also means you can lead them in the wrong direction. Your choices don't just affect you, they affect people around you. People that care about you, they want to see you succeed. Your parents, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your teachers. They want to see you succeed. They want to see you make a difference. You know, I still tell my children, them succeeding indirectly means I succeed. Because of what I poured into them, what I've given them, the opportunities, the chance for them to make a better life for themselves. But if you don't see it that way, if you just think that I used to tell them, I said, listen, I'm not a mean ogre, okay? I'm trying to raise you to where you need to be. Because I told them all the time, I'm not raising children, I'm raising adults. Now y'all clap, but let me explain that. Because they would say to me, Dad, we're not adults, we're children. I said, okay. Okay, so do you wait until you get to school to put your school clothes on? No, you don't. Do you wait until you get to church to put your church clothes on? No, you don't. Do you wait until you get in the swimming pool to put your swimsuit on? No, you don't. You always get dressed and ready somewhere else. So you don't wait till you become an adult to learn how to be one. Now is the time, and this is the place you learn the skills you need to be an adult. The question is, are you going to take that seriously? Because believe it or not, you're not getting any younger. 10 years from now, a lot of you are going to be out of your house. You're going to be on your own. You're going to be taking care of yourself. You're probably going to be in college. The question is, are you going to be able to do that? Or are you still going to be making bad choices? Are you preparing yourself now for one day being able to pay your own bills? For one day being able to have your own house and your own car? Are you preparing yourself to be able to take care of you? Because if you're not, you're probably going to wind up being a villain, making the wrong choices, doing the wrong things, focusing in the wrong areas. One of the things you can do is you can choose your friends. We're talking about choices. You can choose the type of people you want to be around because those are going to have an influence on you and what it is you're trying to accomplish and do. If you pick the wrong friends, you're going to find yourself going down the wrong road. When I was in high school, I had a friend of mine. He would always try to push me up to do stuff. And sometimes I did. And then, of course, when I would get into trouble, he'd step back like, well, I didn't do it. You do it. I didn't make you do it. And he was right. He didn't make me do it, but I gave him that power because I was influenced by him. Once I started to realize what type of friend he was, I started distancing myself from him. Not that I thought I was better than him, but I had somewhere I wanted to go. I had something I wanted to do. I had dreams, goals, ambitions, hopes. And because of that, I didn't want to surround myself with somebody that was going to tear me down. We've talked about how eagles soar. You will hardly ever see an eagle getting rained on because they can fly high enough to fly over the clouds. They don't have to stay down. They can go higher. But oftentimes they have little nuisance, little birds that want to try to attack them like crows. You never see an eagle fighting a crow. What an eagle will do instead of fighting, it'll just take off and start flying. And if the crow, even if the crow is on its back, it won't even turn around. It'll keep going because as they reach a certain altitude, the crow can't survive up there. It will fall off. And just like that, you can be that type of person. That you don't spend a whole lot of time focusing on what people are saying about you or not saying about you, how they like you or don't like you. When you have your goals and your dreams, you have them set in your heart. It really doesn't matter what anyone else says or does or doesn't do. You keep going after what it is you know that you're supposed to be doing. I oftentimes get a chance to speak to young people. And I try to help them to understand that they have a part to play. They have a role to play in their community. Not just your home, your community. Because again, other people are looking up to you. I had a chance to speak in Guyana, South America in 2018, and I asked their primary, they have two school systems, or two separate, they have a primary and a secondary school. I was speaking at the primary school, and kids about your age, and I asked the question, I said, how many of you in this room consider yourself to be a leader? 80% of the class, 80% stood up. They stood up because they realized that they have a chance to influence those other 20% that was sitting down. But I've been told that 20% that was sitting down, I said, believe it or not, you're a leader too. Because there's somebody looking up to you. It's somebody that looks to you for guidance. Somebody that looks to you to pattern themselves after. And if we don't realize that, we will go through life leading people in the wrong direction because we don't see our impact. Even in this room, even right now, there are people that admire you. They appreciate you. People that wish they had what you have. Don't allow the impact and influence you have today to go unutilized. We're talking about choices. Choices. You have a choice to change the future. Because again, you are the future. I heard this one statistic, it said that our youth is 40% of our population. But they are 100% of our future. I'm not going to be here always. These teachers aren't going to be here always. Your parents aren't always going to be here. You are stepping up into that role. The question is, are you ready for it? Are you ready? Are you ready to be in that position? I remember several years ago, I was doing my own event back in Mobile, Alabama. It was a conference that I was putting on, and I had it at a hotel that was less than a mile from my house. And in my haste of getting everything set up, of setting up the banners and getting all of the books and everything done, I left something at the house, and I said, I gotta go back and get that. So I was getting ready to leave, and my son, who was 10 at the time, he's 16, he said, Dad, can I ride with you? I said, come on, son, let's go. Because, I had to go. I had to go and come back because everybody was in their workshops and stuff. I only had a short window. So as I get in the car and as we're driving, literally it's less than a mile from my house. I'm driving, and my 10-year-old son, he looks at me and he says, Dad, I'm proud of you. He said, Dad, I'm proud of you. Now, we weren't having a conversation. We weren't even talking about the event. But I realized in that moment he was watching me. I realized in that moment he was looking up to me. Now, I could tell my son, you can be whatever you want to be. You can do whatever you want to do. I could tell him that all day, every day. But when he looks at me, what does he see? Does he see somebody sitting on the couch? In fact, does he see somebody going and hanging out all night? In fact, does he see somebody not being responsible, not taking care of his family? Does he see that? No. I can tell him he can be whatever he wants to be, but what am I showing him? What example am I giving him? You can tell your little brother or your little sister, your cousin, don't do this and don't do that. But when they look at you, what do they see? Don't steal, don't smoke. But then they look at you and you're doing those exact same things. We have an opportunity to make a difference where we are. I wasn't born in this area. I wasn't raised here. But yet and still, these principles that I'm sharing with you, they are universal. I had a chance to share them on the continent of Africa. The same stuff that I'm telling you has been shared around the world. My point is that these are things that you can take and apply to your life to make a difference where you are and with the people that you care about. Nobody wants that somebody they care about, nobody wants to see them fail. Nobody who truly cares about you wants to see you fail. Your teachers don't want to see you fail. Your parents don't want to see you fail. The administration of the school don't want to see you fail. They want to see you succeed. That's why they put in so much work. Earlier, y'all were clapping for me because of my Lifetime Achievement Award. Don't clap. But thank you. But now when it comes to you and what it is you can do, who's going to clap for you? What are they going to clap for? What are you going to do that's going to be clap worthy? Seriously, what profession, what benefit are you going to be to the world in which you live? A lot of people wouldn't believe this, but when I was a child, I had a stuttering problem. I had a problem speaking. But you know what? I didn't let that stop me from doing what it is I'm doing today. And if you would have told me I was going to be a public speaker, I would have laughed you under the table. I would have been like, you crazy. Because that's the way I talked when I was younger. But I realized that I had more in me to offer, and I had more to share. And it wasn't just for me to make a name for myself. I wanted to help other people. You don't get an award like that, the Lifetime Achievement Award, by doing stuff that's selfish, that's self-serving, that's all about you. You get it by helping other people. I said earlier, you can be the hero or the villain. Who are you going to help? And you don't have to wait until you become an adult. You don't have to wait until you get out of your parents' house. You can start today. And not only that, you can start with your parents. Mom, what can I help you with? Dad, is there anything you need me to do? I saw these clothes that need to be folded up. I've already folded them. Is there anything else? If you did that, your parents would consider you to be their hero. I was raised by a single mother. I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to try to do everything by herself. And I had to step up and help. Me and my sister, we had to do the same thing so that we could help our mother out. But we saw that because of the conditions that we were in. And some of you are in some of those same conditions. You're dealing with some of the same struggles that they were. You can change their life. Talked about being clapped for and applauded for. When was the last time you clapped for your parents? And I'm not just talking about just with your hands. When was the last time you told them, Mom, I appreciate you. Dad, I thank you for what you've done for me. See, oftentimes we don't even see the sacrifice. Oftentimes we don't understand what they've done and what they continue to do for us. But that's because we're not looking. But if we pay attention, if we get off our phone for 10 seconds and look up, we'll see what has been done for us. There are places your parents wanted to go and they didn't go so you could have. There were things they wanted to buy, but they didn't buy so you could have. There was stuff that they wanted to do, but they didn't do so that you could have. And oftentimes we don't recognize that. We don't see that. We just take it for granted. But take the time to let your parents know that you appreciate them. And even not just your parents, even the teachers. I can't tell you how many times and how many teachers I know that they've gone in their own pocket to purchase stuff just for their kids. We all have choices to make. And today I want to encourage you to make the choice to be the hero in your own story. Not just for you, but be the hero for the people that you love, for your family, for your friends, for your mothers, for your father. Be their hero. They've been yours for so long. But there's going to be a time where you're going to have to step up. There's going to be a time where you're going to have to take the reins. There's going to be a time where you're going to be center stage in your own life. Are you ready for that? And are you making the right decisions? I can't tell you how grateful I am for each and every one of you. I thank you for your attention and your time. I thank you for being here today. And Brenda, we're going to let these eagles know that they can soar.
What are you going to be known for? You're going to be the center of attention for your good behavior? Or are you going to be the center of attention for your negative behavior? It's your choice. We're going to talk a little bit about the bully. How many of you guys know what a bully is? Come on, really?
By show of hands, how many of you know what a bully is? Okay, all right. Put them down. Now, by show of hands, how many of you are a bully?
I was going to say that.
Don't do that. I mean, seriously, don't do that. You are scarring people and causing. Oh, go ahead, but go ahead.
You're also disrespecting yourself.
Yes.
So you're being brave here at the school. Caroline Middle School talks about being brave. And it means building what? Building what? Respectful and what? Vigilant eagles. You represent your school. Your school represents your community. Your community represents your town. Your town represents your state. And your state represents your country. Did you hear me? Do you represent your country well? Somebody here, are you brave? I want you to say, I am brave. How about this side right here? I am brave. This side. Aw, sounds like this side over here is braver than you. How about this one? I am an eagle. Everybody, I am an eagle.
I am an eagle.
How about you? What are you? Are you an eagle or are you a crow? What are you? Eagle. What are you guys? I don't know. I see a bunch of chickens. I see a bunch of chickens. What do you say all together? I am an eagle. I am an eagle. I am brave. I am brave. And I'm going to make a difference.
I want to close this one last statement. If you were a teacher, would you want to teach students like you? Oh, I heard a lot of no's. Why is that? Because of the choices that you're making. I asked that question to my business partner. I said, if you were a business partner, would you want a partner like you? And he said no. He was honest enough to say that because he knew he wasn't doing what was needed. But before I could ask him that question, I had to ask it of myself. If I was a business partner, would I want a business partner like me? And I said yes, because of the choices that I made. Now that's a one-size-fits-all question, because I've even asked the teachers. I said, if you were a student, would you want to have a teacher like you? And that made them look at themselves. So I don't want you to walk out of here without examining your choices, because that's going to make the difference in where you are, whether you're the hero or the villain of your own story. Thank you.
All right, guys.